Ladies and gentlemen, this is a call for more plastic shit. That poor dude, every time I get something, I gotta think of him. I don't really care about Raquel Gonzalez, but she came with that belt, and I wanted that belt from my my home wrestling league. Oh, shit, no, I'm stuck. Taking you for a little ride here, sorry. So my regular channel, Chad TI, has been taken down for a week. I got a strike on the channel for a video I did almost 2 years ago. The video in question is one of me up in my house talking about how when people die, they don't pass on to anywhere. They're and they're not held in stasis. It's just, we're all one thing here, as I've gone over many times. We're not, if we're going, we all have to go together because we're all one thing. So what happens when people die is they don't really die. I guess you could say they're being held in some kind of stasis, but they're not, because there's only time here in this 3D realm. So once you leave this area, it doesn't really matter how air quotes long you're there, because you're not there at all. So it's kind of a weird concept. But I started off the video talking about a Damned song called Anti-Pope, and I think that's what they were upset about. They said I was inciting violence and bullying. I watched the whole video. I couldn't get anything from it, so I of course appealed it, and they sent it back immediately in much quicker time than the video is, showing that they didn't watch it. They won't tell me exactly what it was. They just say, it's banned, you have a week. This was my second banning. The first one I can go with a little bit more. It was medical misinformation, because I was talking about the thing at the time. You know, the thing that happened here. The rollout of complete tyranny, when 95% of the people around you turned into your enemy and wanted you in a camp. You know, that thing. So I can kind of get it, but this I don't understand. And what it is really, is it's someone that just doesn't like what I'm saying, so they just flag a video and just say anything, inciting violence. YouTube doesn't check it. They're just like, whatever. Would you like to appeal? Yes. No. So basically it's like in one of those 70s movies where the characters are driving like in the deep south, and the cop sees them, and he just rolls up on them and smashes their taillight and says, "There, you got your taillight out." It's just something you have no control over. You just kind of hope the eye of Sauron doesn't come on you, because if they just want to, they just can take me down anytime for any reason. They have. But I don't think they're paying that close attention to me. They're not paying attention. They're not paying that close attention to me. I think it's just probably someone who had a bug in their ass, and it's usually someone that knows you. This is a weird thing that I've found over the years. I've been in bands and doing music or doing some kind of creative thing where you put it in the public for people, for everyone to see, and it's usually someone that you used to hang around with, or an old friend or an old girlfriend. Someone just doesn't like the fact that you're doing something. They'd rather you just be quiet. So they try to tear you down in some way. So, I mean, I think it's something like that, you know, because I've gotten some emails, well, some direct messages on my Instagram before for things I've posted from people I used to hang around with, who don't understand what I'm doing and would rather I not do it. So I think this was a case of that, because like I said, the video is almost 2 years old. It's just me up in the back cave talking about how when you die, you really, well, I mean, I've covered death here many times, and how it's not even a thing. There is no death. You're an eternal being. You've always lived. You always will live. The body can be destroyed. This is just your antenna that connects you to this place here. But yeah, it was just totally, there was nothing in there at all that had anything to do with what I was being struck for. That's the downside of YouTube. I mean, and I can't imagine, like, I have such a small channel, and I've already got hit twice. Never mind all the other claims I've gotten for copyright music stuff. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine these guys with hundreds of thousands of subscriptions. Like, how are they getting by? Well, I mean, we know. The thing is, if you have hundreds of thousands, right, you're more than likely, you're either controlled, COINTELPRO, something like that. They don't let little people get too much, too big. You know, they smack you down. It's the same thing on Instagram too. It used to be like every time I'd get around 1,000 followers, they'd kick me down again. And but I always keep coming back because what they bank on and what they think is their thunder hammer, their power move, is by banning you, closing your account. In their minds, they're like, well, they lost all their followers and all their likes and all their whatevers, so they'll be just devastated, and they'll be like, oh well, I'm not starting all over again. But myself and others like me are in what I call the Joker position. Now, I don't like the Joker. As far as I'm concerned, he's Satan. I do have a lot of Joker shit at my house, a lot of iconography, but it's part of my Batman collection. I understand what he is. Like, I'm not a fan of the Joker. He's a means to an end for the story, you know? And it reminds me of the ever-lingering look of Satan, because he's always looking at you. He's always watching you, always following you. But the Joker position being, going back to that scene in The Dark Knight where Batman's beating the crap out of him, trying to get some information out of him. And he says, you have nothing to threaten me with. These people on social media, these platforms, whatever you got, Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube, they don't have anything to threaten me with, because I'm not doing this. I don't do this for followers. I don't do this for likes. I don't do this for any of that stuff. I do it because it's creative. It's a creative endeavor. I'm a creator being. We're supposed to create. God wants us to create. So that's why I do it. And if someone likes my stuff and we end up talking about, that's great. I have a nice little, I hate to use the word community, because community is a kind of a scary word, because that implies that someone could police that community. But I have a group of guys at my regular channel. We talk, exchange information. It's great, you know? And that's fine, but I'm not looking to make a YouTube career. I don't give a shit about the analytics. I never look at that stuff. And I'm going to keep doing this. I am going to keep uploading. I am going. So it doesn't matter. Like, I'm gonna upload here this week. This is gonna be my new music channel that just focuses on music stuff, because I've always been like kind of torn about that on the regular channel, which is supposed to be about spirituality and occult stuff and esoteric subjects. And occasionally I'll throw in like a album review or something, because I'm really into music. But it doesn't really go. You know, I figured for a while, like, I can mix the two. Nah, it's better to have this stuff in its own area. So this week I'm pulling, I know you don't, this is channel shit, who cares, but I'm moving all the stuff, all the music stuff over from the old channel to this one. And once I'm back on next week, hopefully, you know, for as long as I can be, I'll continue uploading there. But for this week, I'm going to be doing the Walking Waikiki stuff here and just putting it up with the music stuff for now. Once it's up, then I'll take this stuff off this channel. This is all shit that doesn't matter to you. And I hate when I get, I mean, who cares? It's the worst thing when I'm watching someone, like a YouTuber, and they're like, sorry I haven't uploaded recently, guys. Like, I didn't know. What do you mean, sorry? You're wasting my time now. So sorry for going into that. But I felt I had to explain what happened to the other channel, if anybody's looking for me. So I'll be over here. I'm over here now. Same thing going on over here. All our friends will be over here. Dave, Peter, Satan. Well, he's not our friend, but he inserts himself in everything. Klaus, you know, all the regular guys, regular stuff, along with the music stuff as well. I just did a new one on Iron Maiden, and I'm doing a new Duran Duran one. So anyway, that's just a little explanation of what happened to me over there and what we're doing over here. And yeah, the thing is, it's important that you come back to these places. Like, no matter how many times you get banned, you have to come back. If you have 100,000 followers and you lose them all, and you have to start out with zero, start out with zero. You know, because even if you don't have my attitude where you don't care, it's important that you go there, and important that you still continue uploading and posting or whatever, because you can't give an inch of ground to these people. Do not cede an inch of ground, especially if you have God with you. Continue, roll on. That's what we're doing here. We're rolling on, and we're riding the storm out, like Brian May and his PhD in Stargate SG-1. To waste some money. All right, that's what's going on. I'll yell back out later to do something when it gets dark. It's Thursday night. It's usually pretty jumping out here. It's been a fairly busy couple weeks here, or at least last week. Some intense stuff going on. So hopefully there's more. Hopefully more like it. Bring it on. You know. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.